Okay guys, I wanted to make a video about the ant and the grasshopper basically. Right, the ant works in the summer, he's working the fields all day in the sun, putting aside provisions for the winter, which he's saying is coming. And he tells his buddy, the grasshopper, who just jumps around in the grass, he'll go swimming, you know, he'll go and lay in the sun, having a good time. Then sure enough, the winter comes and the grasshopper shows up at the ant's hill expecting to be fed and sheltered. Very similar to what preppers get when people find out what you do. They say, I'm coming to your house when shit hits the fan. No, you're not. See, right now things are okay. I can get out of work. I can have a little drink. If I want to go out to eat, I can do that. I can go out for a quick bite. If I wanted to go to the store and buy 50 pounds of rice, I can do that right now. Want a big stack up on beans, I can do that right now. If I want a steak, I can do that right now. But if shit hits the fan, you can forget it. And somebody's telling me that doesn't really care about taking care of themselves or preparing themselves, that they want me to be responsible for them. Full grown adults here. I'm going to say a lot of things that people don't want to hear. So if you don't want to hear it, don't listen to this. If you believe people come together and work together, this isn't for you. But if you are like me and you see riots, you see protesters writing about something, and they flip over cars that belong to people that have nothing to do with what they're writing about, and they're breaking into shops and looting stores that have nothing to do with what they're writing about, burning buildings and cars just because they're there and because they can do it, and even though the property belongs to somebody that has nothing to do with whatever they may be writing about. That's the mob mentality, right? The number one thing that's going to get people killed, preppers anyway, is talking too much. Loose lips sink ships. Nobody knows what I do that I work with. My immediate family knows, another family I'm with, and a friend of mine. That's it. Right? My coworkers, I tried to sneak in, just test the waters. When there's a natural disaster or some sort of riot or something, and we see it in the break room, we're kicking back, having coffee, well, hell, I would just stay inside my house, got about a week's worth of supplies, and, they look at me, well, CDC and FEMA, they say you should have some provisions in your house just in case. Like, I can probably go 2 weeks if I really tighten the belt. That's what I say, to test the water out. And I'm always like, that's, why bother? Nothing's going to happen here. Just stay inside for a day or two. Okay, fine. They don't even bother to listen or think just a week, prepare for just a week. My neighbors, they don't know. I've tried to test the waters and nothing works. Now, every now and then, if I'm out somewhere and I notice someone's bag or they have a survival bracelet and other, I can see if they have a bag. This one guy, I knew he had it was a EDC bag he had, and I could just tell. And we chit-chat a little bit and I gave him some advice. If I can see that, I'll warn people. I help people now while I can. But when shit hits the fan and loose lips will get you killed, I'm not doing that, man. These people are, when something happens, they are going to rush into their car and drive to your place right away. They're not going to take the time to empty their pantries. They're not going to take the time to fill any containers with water. If they have pets, they're going to bring their pet, but they're not going to remember to bring pet food. They're just going to get in their car and rush to you. So you better think about that. And who would you let in? I advise you, if you're going to let somebody in there, there's a couple things you better go through. Screen them, in a sense, beforehand. Political views. Do they believe in government dependence? Do they believe in handouts? Because if they do, they're going to hand out your supplies. If they think they're entitled to somebody else's money, well, they're entitled to your supplies. Right? If they believe in redistribution, well, they're going to redistribute your preps. That's just the way it is. You have all this supplies and all this food. You shouldn't have it all, and they're going to share your stuff. You'll have a whole mob on your hands. Your family comes first. That's just the way it is, man. Second, do they have a large family? It's like a lifeboat in a sense. Filled to capacity. And I hate to say it, but you have to take care of your own family. If people don't care, that's their problem. You have to take care of your own. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the way it is. If you're going to help me, do it now. You try to make people aware now. I let strangers know. I'll listen. I'll try to do that. If I can give them tips, I'll give them tips. I'll tell them where to find the resources. I'll do that. I'll give them my email and send them information, but I don't let them know where I live. And anybody that knows where I live, I don't let them know what I do. Help them now. Try to start a community garden now. That way you can have a food supply going. Something like that. Start a neighborhood watch. Something like that. That'll help you later. Help all of y'all later. But when shit hits the fan, you don't want to be handing out food. You'll make yourself a target. You don't want to give handouts. It may be a test. You're going to have gangs and stuff out there. Got some pretty girl at your door. Please let me in. Please feed me. You let her in and she's just trying to see what you have. You don't know. I mean, I would probably fall for that. I mean, I got the wife now that's going to probably, keep an eye on me, but, young woman, young girl, or any a woman just in general, I'll probably, feel soft and want to let her in, but I would probably not. I don't think I would. I'm going to be like, well, I don't have anything. Because I know I might endanger my own family. It might be a test. And if it wasn't a test, you think they're going to leave? I saw this one video, I forget the guy's name, but he was saying have a little handout bags, like, here, this is all I can do for you, get out of here. I wouldn't do that. Because if anybody sees where they got that food, they're going to tell other people where they got it. Or they're going to come back for more. Most likely with other people. It's just me and my brother, man. We just help us out. And then if you say, no, you have all that food in there, why can't you share it? The neighbors hear that, then what's going to happen? Expect the worst, man, or people doing stupid things, not even thinking about it. You need to take care of your own. If you do let them in, they damn well better have some sort of skill set. If you're a doctor or something, a doc, you come on in. If I know they don't have loose lips, hey, that's it, you come. I'll take you. But let's say maybe like a plumber, electrician, a carpenter, or an auto mechanic. Skills that I don't really have. I can do some of those, but not much. Very limited knowledge, right, and ability in those fields. So if you got those covered, the auto mechanic, I can't do shit. I can change a tire, bulbs and stuff here, fuse, but that's about it, man. Anything else, I'd need a mechanic. So, but you're going to have to work for it. Skill plus work. Right? I want to put it like this. Let's say you let the car mechanic in. Are you going to feed him, shelter him, and to defend him because one day your vehicle's going to break down? Or the plumber because one day you might have pipes bust? The carpenter because you're going to need, some damage and you need to have it fixed. Until then he gets a free ride until the day he may be required. His services may be required. Let's say you're the plumber, electrician, or carpenter, or mechanic, or whatever. Guess what? During the day you're out there in the sun. You're digging, you're working that garden, man. You're doing some work in the sun. It's going to be tough. You're going to earn your keep. You're not going to just get a free ride because you got skills. Now, if you can grow food, you can garden. Well, most of what I plant dies. I don't have much of a green thumb. So if you can produce food, hey, you know what? You're out there doing what you do, and you've got company. You're going to have the carpenter, the electrician, or the mechanic, or whatever out there with you. If you have, like, police or military training. Now, this is a tricky one. If you remember what happened in Katrina, the cops were looting. Some of the cops. Some of them did their duty. Some of them went to protect their family, and some of them went rogue. So you got some looting along with all the other looters. I mean, basically a looter with a badge. They help they help cops load up the cars. The cops help the thieves load up cars and vans. You had some cops that were convicted of it was a shooting. I don't know if it was murder or what they got them for, but they planted evidence, a weapon, and they falsified records and stuff like that. And those were the cops. So you better be careful about that. Let's say you have a cop in your neighborhood. You can't let him in just because he's a cop. Now let's say it's somebody you knew, ex-military, or somebody you really know. Then yeah, maybe. So keep that in mind. But still, they got to earn their keep. And let's say you're the plumber or the mechanic or whatever. Guess what? Daytime, you're going to have some time working in the garden. At night, you got a 12 gauge. I'm not giving you the top of the line stuff here now. Maybe be used against me, maybe not. Who knows? But you got Mr. 12 gauge, and you got somebody else out there with you, and you're doing patrols if need be. Right? And the last thing would be, I'm in charge. Right? There's no democracy with my supplies. If I tell people to do what they can now, and they don't listen, I'm in charge. I'm the one that had the foresight here. I prepared for years, and I see people going to concerts all the time. They're always eating out, taking some nice damn vacations. They see just about every new movie, sometimes 2 or 3 times. Now, myself, before I got married, I was a frugal guy. I spent money on the chica, but that's it. And now I spend more money than I probably should, but I don't stop prepping. Right? So, in a way, I'm kind of depriving my own family because we're not doing a lot. Well, we could do more anyway. But I take some of that money and put it into preps. So I'm not going to deprive my family of some things so you can freeload later. If they come to my place, I'm in charge. I planned for this. I've studied this. I know how it's going to go down. There are certain scenarios anyway. And there is no democracy with what I supplied here. If you bring some stuff, or I come to your place, okay. But you show up here without anything, Anyway, something to think about. If you're going to help people, man, do it now. Community watch groups, neighborhood watches. Try to start community gardens. And try to educate strangers. I wouldn't tell people that know where you live. But try to educate everybody else that you can. And in turn, somebody else will educate the people that live around you. But loose lips sink ships.